Hello everybody, I hope you're having a great holiday season or Christmas, whatever you call it, you know, PC. But I'm gonna ruin your day today with a really bad Christmas film that I found. Googling top 10 worst Christmas films because I wanted to make a video, and yeah, I figured I'd make one holiday theme. So yeah, I am going to be talking about a movie called The Santa Incident, which, if I were to sum it up in like a few sentences, I would say Santa crash, Santa get chased by FBI, but FBI not really do anything, FBI don't do anything, movie ends. That's it. But that doesn't really do it justice for how bad it is and how many just like stupid, egregious audio errors, visual errors. There's one part where you can see the lav mic attached to someone, like it's just in the shot, and I think they just wanted you to not see it. I hope you guys enjoy. I'll try and explain what's going on throughout the movie because I had to watch it twice. I watched it once by myself and once with my friend Zach so he could react to it. He was really high and he still thought it was really bad, so I think that really speaks volumes to how shitty it is. But yeah, without further ado, I hope you get a few laughs and enjoy this abomination of a movie.
UFO. I don't know what is. Trying radio contact one more time. Unidentified aircraft. You are intruding on restricted airspace. Divert from your present course immediately or be destroyed. Repeat, change course immediately or be destroyed.
Within the first 30 seconds of the film, you're introduced to, I guess, a pilot who we come to find out is shooting down Santa while he's in his sleigh.
Good hit.
Shortly after that, they find this guy laying on the train tracks, but it's actually just like a giant cart that's used to move shipping containers, I think. Like, I don't think it's actually a train, because it doesn't look like a train, and it, like, I don't know. Anyways, Santa's laying across the tracks, or at least who they presume to be Santa. They poke him with a lead pipe. And then they pull him off the tracks so he doesn't get crushed by the train thing.
Mister, wake up! Mister?
But the two kids really struggle to get him off, but you'd think that two kids could pull a grown adult like 4 feet. They get Santa to the hospital. Their mom, Joanna, happens to be a nurse.
What do you think you were doing?
Where were they supposed to go? I slept late again.
At the hospital, she takes care of Santa. Then, like, some FBI agents show up.
Found the old man last night? Did you find any debris or any strange equipment? No, hey, no. Just let her. Hey, no.
If you ever touch my kids again, it'll be the last mistake you ever make.
Well, that is quite a threat coming from someone who can just disappear with a phone call.
What did you just say?
We are then introduced to Hank, who's like the sheriff of the small town. It's presumed that he's like a father figure to Daniel and Sophia, especially Daniel. Anyways, Hank takes them to school, but there's this part where he like reaches in the glove box while they're getting in the car. And the main shot, there's a Glock in the glove box.
I got something from you kids.
But he gives them like 2 school like hall monitor badges, like kids police badges.
Cool. Well, what are these?
They're student crossing guard badges.
But the Glock is the main thing in the shot, and so I thought watching this that he was just gonna be like, I got something for you, turn around, grab the Glock out of the glove box and hand it to him and be like, here you go, Daniel, what do you think? What do you think of that Glock? We are then introduced to the 2 FBI agents, Erickson and Cunningham. I hate both of them.
Animal, vegetable, or mineral? You ask,
They don't do anything throughout the entire film. Anyways, next part of the movie, Joanna and Sophie are decorating the tree. Sophie screams really weird.
All right, I think we're done.
Yeah, remember when you literally saved Santa Claus from death like 10 minutes ago? And you were like, oh yeah, that's Santa, I guess. That happens. Next thing you know, I think it's like the next day or something, Santa wakes up from his coma in the hospital, and the first thing he says is mistletoe for no reason at all. So yeah, I don't know. Alrighty, next scene we get to the FBI. Cunningham and Erickson, they're based in like an abandoned shop or something along the dock.
Morning, boss! Thanks for finding us such a dump.
You're welcome.
It's a good time to mention that they take the running gag that Cunningham is just an idiot, and they take it way too far. Like he does nothing useful the entire movie. Zach pointed out that there could have just been one agent. It could have just been Erickson, and that would have been better. It's also explained. Sorry, my screen was blue. It's also explained a little bit later that Daniel's father passed away, and he used to take him and Sophia to this place called the Ghost Factory, which is just an abandoned warehouse. Anyways, Sophie comes in and she's like, oh yeah, I want to play. And then Daniel just, like, he wants none of it.
Have these scurvy dogs. I prepared to face the wrath of Mad Captain Dan. Play that cutlass spilled rat or taste the steel of Sophia the bloody corsair.
No! Sorry, I didn't mean to scare my dogs that are sitting right here. But yeah, it's just an awkward. And then Daniel's like, Dad was Captain Hook, I think.
Dad was Captain Hook.
No! Also, there's this guy in a bomber jacket who we can assume is a pilot. I don't even care. I'm just gonna spoil it because I know nobody's gonna watch this movie because it's bad. That guy, his name is Ross, Albert Ross. He's the pilot who shot down Santa, but you don't learn that until like 50 minutes into the movie. He's kind of just like peeping in and out of scenes for no reason at all. Next part, Joanna offers to have Santa, who they don't know is Santa, stay in their house with her two young kids, this old man that they don't know, obviously, right? And then Erickson and Cunningham post up in their shitty FBI issued car outside their house, but for some reason Santa and Joanna don't see them.
In the meantime, let's set up surveillance. I want an airtight case against this John Doe and his alien comrades. Comrades, 1M.
It's Russian.
It's not.
It's two.
It's not.
It's two.
It's not.
It's two.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
Most certainly is.
It's not. It's not.
Santa is staying in the garage. Keep that in mind, that'll come up later. That is important to the plot, I promise. So after getting settled in, Santa takes the kids to a restaurant, I guess, that they go to all the time, and they get like food, and it's the dude is like freaking out, speaking like half French, half English, and he's like, we have nobody to do the dishes. Also, you can see Sophie's lav mic.
There is no clean plate or pot for the lunch rush. It will be a disaster.
And then Santa's like, I can help with dishes, and the guy's like, well, we can't pay you. Which I'm pretty sure that's law, that you have to pay somebody for labor? I don't know. Anyway, Santa's like, nah, I'll do it anyways.
Show me to the kitchen.
As you wish.
You are? Bonne chance.
Santa does in like 2 seconds, obviously, because he's fucking Santa and he's magic.
I finished.
No. And then Santa's like, no, I don't want money. All he asked for basically is that he saw some like old microwaves and stuff that they were gonna throw out in the back, and he was like, I want those. And of course the guy is like, yeah, oui, okay. And he gives them to him like indirectly. I don't know, they never showed that anyways. But basically Santa wants like old electronics and stuff so he can make toys, because he's not at the North Pole, so he needs supplies. Oh, this part. We have a little part where the FBI like breaks into their house. Cunningham goes to the front steps, takes a bunch of little tools out. Oh, that's a funny gag. And then Erickson comes by and just opens the door. I guess everybody in this town leaves their door unlocked for no reason at all. Now this part is actually important. So Cunningham puts 2 hidden microphones, one underneath the counter and one in a lamp, right? In the kitchen. Keep that in mind. That is important. Alrighty, this was an important timestamp in this movie, minute 39, second 12. Do you know why? This is the second egregious error in this movie. The first one was the lav mic on Sophie when they were in the restaurant. That should not happen at all. This is the second one. So I want you to carefully watch both their mouths. One of them, we don't know who because neither of their mouths are moving, says, "This is boring."
This is boring. Boring. Boring.
Neither of their mouths move the whole time. Oh my god. Pan inside to the house and Tana... Jesus, this movie's giving me a stroke. Santa is telling Joanna and the kids a gruesome story at dinner about how he crashed by getting hit by a cruise missile.
We're out on the sleigh, homebound, with sacks of teddy bear stuffing. We diverted west to avoid a bad nor'easter, but across the Oregon coast.
Kinda cool, that's where I live. Not on the coast, but in Oregon.
We ran afoul of an air defense picket. Before I knew it, an interceptor was on us like a hungry wolf. He got off a lucky shot, and we got hit by a missile. Clumsy me. The last thing I remember, I was plunging towards the earth.
And yeah, it's just like, it's really dark, and then they add in like a screaming sound effect at the end that just like makes it that much more like, what? Santa then heads to the ghost factory where he's set up a little shop to make toys. He sits down and he does this weird hand magic thing where it's just motion blur on his hands, I think. He makes the same robot 4 times for no reason other than to extend the scene. Like, it shows him making it and you're like, on the first one you're like, oh okay, he's magic, he can make robots, cool. Then he does it again and you're like, yeah, he can still do it. And then he does it 2 more times and you're like, well, yeah, we get it. He's magic, he can make robots and stuff. And then it pans to the table and he has 80 robots for no reason. He's magic. Who knows? Next, Ross shows up at Joanne's house and he's like, I need to talk to you. But then she calls Hank, but then she says never mind because Ross is like, no, I'm a good guy. And then Joanna tells Hank a very interesting sexual innuendo.
Honey, you don't have to come. All right, come if you want to come.
Nice.
See yourself.
That's the end of that scene. Basically, she just invites Ross in and he's like, yeah, I'm a good guy. Next thing, Santa invites the kids to the workshop in the ghost factory and they do the hand magic thing, which I really hate. That's that stupid motion blur effect. I hate that so much. And then there's like 10 or 11 seconds of just laughter for no reason at all. Why? In this movie, I found that there's a lot of filler. Okay. Now we're back to the house. Santa and Joanne are in the garage having a conversation. FBI's posted up outside in front where they have been for the past 45 minutes of the movie. Remember earlier when I told you that the FBI planted microphones, 1 under the counter, 2 in a lamp, where? In the kitchen.
Ow, God, you hit me.
We're on.
What?
I can't hear it.
What?
Give me that thing.
Oh, you were up all night again.
Oh, making toys.
We, almost never sleep in December.
We?
Oh, myself, Mrs. Claus, the elves, the whole operation.
Where are Santa and Joanna right now? They're in the garage. How can they hear them? From the kitchen. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, when I was watching this last night, I had a fat headache, and there was like 20 minutes left, So I was like, I'm just gonna like summarize it quickly because this is just, it's too much. So I'm gonna quick summarize the last 20 minutes to save you guys some headache, and we'll go from there. So basically, elves find Ross and get mad at him for shooting Santa out of the sky, and they're like, oh, what the heck? But then he explains he's a good guy, right? Then the elves explain that Santa needs all his bells to summon the sleigh. He's missing one. The FBI have that one, obviously, remember that from early in the movie. The elves and Ross find the FBI office and realize that the last bell is in a safe. A giant safe in the middle of the room that has one bell in it. Why do they need a safe that big? Also, why isn't it hidden at all? Why is this top secret thing just in like in a thing? I don't know. Then, basically the elves, like, they show this scene where they're like cutting open the glass to get into the office, but instead of like actually spraying on the stuff to then remove the glass part, they don't spray it. They just show the kid elf holding the spray can, and then they just like slap in like a spray paint noise in post, and that's hilarious to me. That they couldn't just, I don't know, CGI that in like they did everything else. But yeah, then the girl elf dumps out like some like squeaky toys, I guess, outside, and she's like, countermeasures. What? Next thing you know, Cunningham is over there touching the countermeasures for no reason at all. And then the girl elf conveniently grabs a kaleidoscope out of the boy elf's pocket and then rolls it out from under the door that like, what? And then Cunningham grabs the kaleidoscope and he's like, oh my god, it's so cool. And he's like looking through it. And then he says, I'm so dizzy, to imply that he is losing control of his motion, right? As one does when they're dizzy. And he wanders over the pier and into the water, but when they pan to the water, they don't show him falling in, it's just like the splash. So one could infer that they just dropped like a rock, and it's not a big splash either, so one can infer that they just dropped a rock in the water, and then we're like, yeah, this is good. This looks like a splash that a human would make when they fall in the water. Got him. And that's pretty bad. Next thing you know, Erickson is in the office too. He was talking to Ross outside and he kicked him in the balls for some reason. But they didn't show that either. It was just like a sound effect, you know, where it's like, wha-cha, and then like, you know. And then Erickson comes, he like briefly looks at the squeaky toys because he's not an idiot. And then he pulls his gun out. And at this point I was like, oh shit, he's gonna gun down these kids. He walks into the office, the kids shoot confetti at him, grab the bell, and then go invisible and disappear. And then he just starts firing off shots. He shoots a shot at the robot tracker thing, and then it has poorly animated CGI sparks in there, very cool. And then he just like sits there with this dumb look on his face like, how did this happen? Oh, next thing, Eric and Cunningham drive to the dock because they assume that Santa is there with the kids. Kids run around this boat, I guess don't see the FBI agents standing right in front of him. The agents grab them, then Santa's like, don't touch those kids, and Erickson's like, I'll fucking kill him, dude. And then Santa's like, how dare you? And then Daniel steps on Erickson's foot, exclaims, hi-ya. And then Erickson is in so much pain from a child stepping on his foot that he does the whole cliche like jumping and grabbing your toe thing, and then he like stands really just strangely, and then he's like trying to fight Santa, and it's just like, and then Santa leads them right back to the factory that they were just at, which makes no sense at all considering they were right there. Erickson smells the crotch of a stuffed bear for no reason. It's really awkward. He says the same thing like 7 times while they're in this scene of like finding all the toys in the storage room, I would assume. Erickson's like, oh, you think I'm really stupid, huh? You think I'm that stupid. Oh, Santa thinks I'm an idiot. What is this? What is this? What is that? Just picking up stuffed animals? Like, guy, chillax. And anyways, Santa like explodes in the next scene. Like explodes happy. I don't even know. And then the elves are like, okay, well we should do that too. So they throw like this ball of thing, and then it explodes in front of the like SWAT agents that are there. And then they're like acting like kids now. And then they give them bears and they're like, oh my gosh, I want this one, but it's actually like poorly edited in audio that they added. Then Santa comes out of the factory. I guess he escaped Erickson and Cunningham somehow. They don't really give that away. And yeah, then Santa summons the sleigh, and the movie ends. Erickson has a mental breakdown because he didn't catch Santa. That's the movie. That's it.
My God. It's gone.
I hated this. I hated every moment of this. I don't want to watch it again. I wouldn't recommend that any of you guys watch it. But I would recommend that you guys like and subscribe because that would be amazing. So, and this video took me like 6 hours to make. So, thank you guys. Peace out.